First dance song.
Hold on. I was about to sing the 1, 2, 3. Johnny Swim, We Can Take the World.
We don't need
melody.
Nope.
We don't need calligraphy to write fancy stories.
Yes.
We don't.
It's okay.
You, me, we could take the world.
There
Yeah,
you
you can.
go.
We could write the stories. We can sing songs.
Is that Gaithers?
We can sing fairy tale. They can't make fairy tales sweeter than
That Gaithers?
ours. No. Can we sing stuff like that anymore?
I've never heard it.
The Minutes. Johnny Swim. That's the name of the artist. We could
Like he
climb
toured with
mountains
It's
Toby
not
Mac.
holy.
high into the sky.
It's not holy. We should have done
We could
Toby Mac. We
take
should have done a
the
Carmen
world.
song.
Totally should have done a Carmen song.
Could you imagine?
What's up, everybody? Podcast time.
What's up?
Follow up to last couple of weeks. We've been talking through marriage, ministry, and all of the things that come with it. And I think it's hopefully beneficial to it. Maybe this isn't beneficial to anybody watching. Maybe it's beneficial to us and therapeutic for us to have these conversations. Did you just catch a mosquito?
I killed a mosquito just now.
Like Mr. Miyagi, like
I'm a
"Huzzah,"
ninja.
you just pulled it out of the air.
I saw that. Don't mess with me.
Did it have blood in
Kill
it?
you. Huh?
Are your fingers bloody?
No, he didn't get nobody yet.
Okay.
I just saved all y'all's lives. You're welcome.
So, one of the things Maddie and I talked about was we talked through a few things, and one of the things that I think is very beneficial to have conversation about is inside of your marriage, inside of your relationship, you have a 1-year-old kid, and you have a life that is very busy. Christy hasn't been here all summer long. We haven't seen her all summer, and she's not done yet. She has more things to do.
Yep.
Yes.
Why that giggle?
It's just cool to see her do what she does now. I'm proud of her.
I'm proud of her as well. Thank God for opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in life and ministry and parenting and all of the things, how do you balance? Y'all both gave me this weird little grin as I said balance. Y'all were like, oh.
Yeah.
How do you balance all of the things in life and not neglect each other?
Great question.
I think it's a very good question. I think one of the things that helps because we're not perfect in balance, where I'm very much like just all in everything. Church is the hub for my life. That's just kind of how I've described church being for me, for how I prefer to have things. So when we talk about our lives and the way we do things, it's not just where we have our job, but it's where we spend Monday night because that's where we pray. And Wednesday night we have trivia nights and things that we want to be at. And we have our small groups and people. That's where our friends are, like our staff, like you guys, like that's who we do life with. And so it kind of makes it, we seem so busy, but at the same time we know that our life is
Your
the church and we're
offices
okay with
are, we'll say 30 yards away from each other.
that. A turn away.
Not even 30 yards, but as the crow flies, you're probably 30 feet away from each other.
Something like that.
So at any point you wanted to, you could just walk in each other's office. Hey, just stop by, say hey, see how you doing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen in the office?
Once or twice a day.
Definitely if the baby is with us.
Yeah.
But, I mean, since he hasn't been here this week in particular, no.
Yeah.
Johnny does his own thing. I kind of do my own thing. We touch base, like, after work hours. But, like, ministry, you know how ministry is. Ministry doesn't sleep, really.
Yeah.
But that's the life we also have chosen. So I think if you were to ask any normal human being that doesn't work in ministry, they probably would say, wow, you guys are at church all the time. But like Monday night truly is the most refreshing night of the week for me. Like I'm not missing prayer, regardless if I was in ministry or not. Like I would be here anyway. We had an event on Wednesday. Like my family was just at church. It's just what we did. So although it seems exhausting in seasons, there are moments where it feels like overwhelming. Like this week, I feel like I should be way more overwhelmed than I really am. And we're just cruising through. We're making it. We're making it.
What y'all giggling about?
Caleb farted over there? No.
Well,
I would.
Oh no! Don't do that.
I would say though, like, you know, I'll stop in maybe if there's an update, something maybe crazy that happens, either in the office or maybe I got an update like a life event or something like that. Mm-hmm. But if you think about any other normal couple's life, I mean, how many times are you checking in with your spouse during the workday? Like when Christy was teaching, right. I'm not calling Christy during the workday unless something like an emergency comes up, or I'm like, hey,
like a text. Or
what's the text message you just got? I need the code from your phone.
Answer me. One of the things Maddie and I talked about whenever we did the podcast. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch it. It's a couple podcasts ago. But one of the things Maddie and I talked about was the familiarity with each other in the office breeds, if you're not careful, neglect and the almost excitement you got when you were going to see each other get home from work. Mm-hmm. You know, oh, yay, Johnny's home, and let's go see, you know. I mean, there's been times where he and I have been, you know, together on a trip, and, you know, first thing in the morning, mommy and baby are FaceTiming him, and he's all hangs up, and he's all emotional, and I'm like, bro, we've been gone for like 8 hours. It's okay. Like, you're good, you know? But the familiarity with each other breeds, if you're not careful, if you don't fight against it, breeds a neglect almost, mm-hmm. because you miss moments of showing great appreciation or love for them because you're always together. You're always with each other. You most of the time ride to work together, mm-hmm. 90% of the time. Mm-hmm. So you're always here. You're always together. You're always with each other. You're always, you know, fighting through life together. And you very rarely have the moments of, let's come back together and, oh, I missed you so much, or whatever it may be. So how do you, busy life, busy everything, how do you go through this and choose each other and not neglect each other? Date nights. Mm-hmm.
We don't do those very well.
I think you have to hear, like if Chrissy says, I want to go to the beach, we're going to go to the beach.
Yeah. It'd be the same thing. I'm same way with Maddie, you know? Yeah.
Like if she says, I want to go to Old Navy and look for a dress, we're going to go to Old Navy and look for a dress and hang out. If she says, I'd love to go to Sonic and grab a Route 44 Dirty Dr. Pepper, then I'm going to go.
That the one with pickles in it?
I don't know what. It's nasty. I don't know why she gets it, but it's disgusting.
It's like cream and stuff.
But you kind of hear like what she wants.
Have you tried the new pickle drink from Sonic?
No.
Y'all tried that?
Absolutely not.
I would only do
Have you heard of it?
No.
I would only do that if I
That
had
should be
cramps.
your
Not
next
heard of it.
podcast.
What is it?
Make people drink that.
Okay, get us a pickle drink and let's try it on the
What
podcast.
is that?
But yeah,
I think
so
our quality time
just
is
hear 'em.
different. I mean, now that you have a kid and we don't have, you know, immediate family here, so we just have to secure a babysitter if we wanted to go do something together alone.
Which you have ready, set, go babysitters on
Everywhere.
standby everywhere waiting for you to say, here, take my kid for the night.
Sure.
Definitely right here at
But you know,
814.
you know the game of, in your mind, it's like, well, you don't want to inconvenience that person. You don't want you to feel like you're taking advantage of the
There's
person.
a difference in I'm going on a date and, you know, hey, I'm just going to lounge around the house today. You know, there's a difference in that. To me is taking advantage of. The other is everybody who's had children understands how valuable a date night is for you.
Yeah, we're not great at that. We need to be better at scheduling those.
Do you feel like you neglect each other?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because we're with each other all the time, it's like, oh, well, I spent quality time with him. But if you like look at our text message thread, sometimes there's no text message sent to each other because we're with each other 24/7 all the time. There's sometimes like Thursday through Sunday, there's like no text messages sent because we're just with each other the whole time. Unless like Friday we do something separate, or I run out to the store or something, or he's grabbing food for us or something like that. But sometimes like we'll go days without, this sounds bad, days without texting each other just because we're with each other. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird.
No, it doesn't sound weird at all. Doesn't sound weird at all. So in being with each other, do you find yourself, we're together so we don't have to pay as much attention to each other, so we can be, you know, scrolling through TikTok or whatever rather than focusing on each other?
I feel like this is a therapy session.
I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's intentionally like that.
Oh,
If it's
not
like,
intentionally,
No.
but
maybe like
but-
decompressing for your debt. Like
But
you get home and you're
I'm
scrolling.
with this person all the time, so I'm not actively seeking to invest in this relationship and then almost by happenstance neglect the relationship.
No, I don't think we can get away with that. Like I don't know how you get away with that because even you're coming home as husband, you're leaving the church as employees. Like
So you are invested in conversation with her whenever y'all are sitting around the house on Friday. You're invested in conversation. You're invested in life moments and all of the. Obviously, Christy has lived a little different summer than normal people this year.
Been a little MIA.
She's so probably those Fridays y'all were catching up, but a typical Friday.
On sleep.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
not napping.
but a typical Friday, y'all are talking about life and y'all and all of the
decisions.
We could always
and-
be better about being more intentional in our conversations. Like,
very interesting.
very
Yeah, like there's
recap the week. What do we need to get done?
there's times where I have to, listen to her about stresses at work or decisions she's got to make or
Me stresses me. I understand.
Like even right now,
I
she's
understand.
trying to write her sermon for her Sunday here during VBS, and she needs my help, thinking through that. And then she's
Stormtroopers.
Yeah, don't take your helmet off. Keep your helmet on. Whatever I put.
Love it.
She's going to Illinois in August, and she's doing a girls' day out there, so she's got to prepare something for that. So I'm helping her there.
Wow.
And then she's got a girls' day out in September she's doing, and she's like, hey, what about this illustration? What would you do here? And so I'm having to help her there as probably more
Having
of a
to help her,
husband.
probably not the right verbiage.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Have
help
to.
her. You are excited for the opportunity to give some insight of the unique way your mind works.
Sure, that's a good way to put it. But
It's not like she can't do it without you. Like, I have to help her do those things. Like change a tire. I get to talk about something that we both love, that we're both passionate about, and we get to walk through this together.
if I was working at AT&T, she would come home and say, I need your help writing the sermon.
Yeah.
And then I would sit down and be like, okay, what about this? That's those types of things.
What would you say to people who are in ministry together, or life is busy, but what are some healthy habits that you would say put in place to create a healthy marriage?
Number one, own your decisions.
Okay.
When you ask for help, if you're working in ministry together, you're at the same place, you have the same boss, own your decision.
Meaning?
So if we're talking at home, it's just you and your spouse talking at home. When you go to make a decision, if you felt like the information you got from your spouse was good enough to make your decision based off that, if it was the wrong
You
decision,
can't tell me, Christy told me to do this.
you're not throwing me under the bus at the office because you made a bad decision.
Yeah.
I was just your husband in that moment,
a good
or
one.
you're just the wife in the moment who gave this information. So if I ask Christy what she would do here, I send a text message based off of how she would phrase it. And that person gets mad, and then I have to have a conversation with you about, hey, why'd you send your text message like that? I'm not going to say, well, Christy told me to text it like this.
Good.
It's me. I said, that's just my bad. I made a mistake there.
Own your decisions.
Forgive me.
I like it.
Yeah.
Interesting. What was the question again? Healthy habits?
Yeah, what's some healthy habit? Like I'll tell you one for me. This is one that I used with Maddie the other day on the podcast. If you didn't watch it, go back and check it out. One of I think a healthy habit for couples is y'all leave together. So knowing who's doing what in your morning routine. So for me, I know I'm taking out the dog. Occasionally Maddie will do it. I know it's me. When the kids were in school, I know I was the one helping them pack their lunches. I know I was the one, I know I'm not the one that's going to feed the dogs in the morning. Maddie's the one that's going to feed the dogs. So we know who's doing what and kind of have our morning routine down. We know who's doing what and where they're at what time so that there's no dropped balls or anger over why didn't you feed the dogs? Well, I thought you were going to feed the dog, whatever it is. So having a morning routine of who's packing the baby's bag,
Yeah.
who's getting the baby dressed, who's
think-
doing, those sort of things.
Ours isn't good. We need to be better about that.
Ours is just like.
So what would you say,
we
healthy
assume.
habits that you would say, husband, wife, here goes some healthy habits for you to be able to
I mean,
have
I
a
just
have a
think
more productive life.
definitely
or more peaceful.
communication. Like keeping the same calendar has been so beneficial because if Johnny is in the office, we work in the exact same place. This place is huge. He may make a decision to hang out with somebody on Friday and I have no idea. And on the other side of the building, I'm making a decision on our day off to do something. And then we get in the car and I'm like, oh, so Friday when we go do this, and he's like, I didn't know we were doing that. So like literally I'll say to him, did you look at the calendar to see if we have anything planned? Because if not, then that's where we get in little, moments of, like I saw he's getting a beard cut, so things like that. I just know when he's getting it and having it done. It just helps me to know like where you are, what you're doing, and not because I need to keep tabs on him, which I do that anyway for safety reasons, but at the same time, it just helps us
For safety reasons, yes.
Yeah. But communicating, even like morning routine, like you were talking about, like even if we're thrown off or something happened, baby had an accident, the dog had an accident, if we're just communicating through it, hey, if you'll clean this up, I'll get X, Y, and Z done. Hey, could you take out the trash this morning? Christy, could you grab this for me? We just have to communicate. And sometimes in the morning we're like,
Yeah,
struggling.
calendar, I agree completely. Calendar is so incredibly important to make sure that you have
keep up with all the things.
all
All the things.
And everybody's life is so different. So having a place where we know this is the rule. Me and Maddie always call it the rule book. This is it right here. We know if you book something on Friday, but I had something on the calendar, I win because I have something on the calendar.
Let's go.
This is what it is. Caleb's got on Friday's calendar, play NCAA football all day long. Don't bother me. I'm playing NCAA football.
It's on the calendar?
It's on the calendar. I
Yeah.
knew
Okay.
that's the rule of the
Yeah,
house.
it's the rule of the house. So it's very, very, to me, a healthy habit that you have a calendar that you share. Did you know, in Sam and Angie's house, did you know that Sam does all of the laundry?
Did not know.
Angie does none of it.
Wow.
If I have to do all the laundry, I'm just going to take it to the dry cleaners.
There you go. Boom. Makes
He's
sense.
gonna do the
So-
laundry service that comes
Makes
and picks
sense.
it up.
So how would you say both of you working in the office? That's what Gabe told me. That's all I know.
Hey,
Gabe said that on
let
the
me get a
podcast.
redemption real
No,
fast.
sorry.
I'm gonna ask about that. I'm curious.
So you'll have to ask her about it. Make sure y'all ask Angie about Sam doing all the laundry. Gabe will love that. So in marriage for both of you, there's times where there is conflict that happens on your job.
No,
No, never.
that doesn't happen.
It's
It's rainbows and
Your
butterflies.
was a little bit different.
Oh, no, man. We good, fam.
No, we're good.
There's time that conflict
Peace,
happens on your
love.
job.
Yes.
You go home and you talk about conflict. How much do you let your spouse in on the conflicts that you're dealing with? How much do you let them in, and why?
God made me to be a very emotional human being, so I can't hide mine.
So you just let them in on everything. Just get it all
Pretty
out.
much everything, because I do ask for a lot of advice, because Johnny gets a bad rap sometimes, but he does have a lot of wisdom sometimes.
Who gives you a bad rap?
Sometimes
I think the guy sitting across from me sometimes talk
No.
about my decision-making skills, which is true
but
a lot of
sometimes-
times.
But sometimes I really
I'm reading a book
think-
about it. We're trying to do better.
But sometimes he does give decent advice about
Decisions
I think this is how I would handle it. And sometimes I honestly think it's because he's outside of the box. Like he's like, I don't have anything to do with that. So let me think about it from out here.
He's
and like,
very stable and non-emotional.
that's true.
Not what you have no
empathy.
no empathy.
Empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say sympathy, but empathy.
Yeah, maybe
no
that too.
empathy. Yeah, no sympathy either, but empathy.
Your dog died?
Tough. So you being a very emotional person coming to somebody who has no emotion. No, you have emotions. You have no.
Oh, I have emotions.
You have emotions, but you
I'm not
just
moved
have.
by your
You're not
emo-
moved
I'm
by
not
her
moved by
emotions.
your emotions.
Her weeping and crying and saying, "I can't believe this." You just go, "Okay, well, here goes the truth of what's happening."
Once you
here.
cry, let's talk.
Yeah, now here goes actual wisdom based on subject matter, not emotions attached
Sometimes
to it.
it's frustrating because you want to wallow in it, and he really doesn't.
I'm not here for that.
He's not
No.
a wallower.
Which is why y'all's marriage is so perfect.
No.
It's definitely not.
No, I'm saying perfect pieces that God put together.
No, that's different. Yes.
Yeah.
Super emotional, no empathy, actually
But
work
not
great
perfect.
together.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So you let it all out.
Yeah.
No empathy says, get it all out, but we're not going to be emotional about this. Let's make wise decisions. X, Y, Z.
Yes. Sometimes, sometimes I'm like, that was the worst advice you could ever give.
Yeah, me and Christy had this weird moment in Charlotte Airport last week where I was trying to help her and trying to make a decision to help her life, and I was going to... You all right?
I'm laughing because what's funny about this is I was the one who ended up made the decision.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Everybody was struggling, and
We
I
were
was
stressed. I was
like,
stressed.
nah, y'all two just
Travel
switch.
stresses me out, though.
Anyway,
It really does.
So we were in this place where I was trying to swap seats with Christy. I was trying to swap seats with two different people so that Becca could sit by her husband and so that Johnny could sit by her, so that Christy could sit by her husband, because we were all kind of sitting all over the plane, and Christy was sitting by herself with the baby. So I was trying to swap seats here so that she could sit with Maddie and Cammie. I think we're in my row, and then Carson was back here with Becca, and so I was swapping seats with Joseph, who was sitting with Sim and Liv. And so anyways, we were just all trying to do this. And so
Musical chairs on the plane.
there's musical chairs on the plane, and all I was trying to do was help Christy's life.
And I was stressed. I don't even know what I said. I was like, just tell me where I need to go or something. I was like, I need to board the plane right now.
You were not nearly that nice to me.
I was very stressed.
And I said, fine.
I'm trying to help you.
If you don't want to wait 3 minutes and let me figure this out, then go sit in 22B all by yourself.
I was going to. It would not have been good, though. So I'm glad that we waited.
Well, and I came in
And John
made a
said,
decision.
okay, you here, you here.
It was just two pieces of switching.
We just swapped seats.
I did it. I was like, look at me.
But I was trying to be the one to be the martyr and take the seat all by myself, which
Would've made
made
everything
all
else
these
messy.
swaps
I was
happen.
the problem.
You were the problem. I was
problem.
trying to help.
I sat between two dudes. They were nice though. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
That would have been
So-
awkward, me sitting between two dudes with the baby. But
So
it's fine.
conflict.
So
At work. That's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
example. Off campus, but still at work.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how about you? Like whenever you have conflict at work, you bring it home, throw it on her.
I don't anything that I think she can't handle. I don't tell her.
Same way.
Anything where it deals with, a smaller thing that I'm going to handle, she doesn't need to know about that. It's not a big deal. It's just a conflict I'm having maybe with one of my leaders or whatever the case may be. If I'm not stressed out about it to where I need to let it off to her, then I'm probably not going to tell her about the conflict. Because usually, we have a relationship where I can offload some of that stress with you. But if it's like something where like, Pastor made me mad today, then I'm going to have that conversation with her about that.
You've never had that one though.
Maybe once or twice.
What?
Yeah, once or twice you made me mad.
I'm sure he's done the same for
But
us.
you already know
Christine
when that
Johnny made me
happens. You
so
just
mad
don't say,
today.
you made me mad, and we just talk about it later and have a hug later, and then talk about my calling and
What?
being successful in life and all that stuff. So,
He has a pep
so,
talk.
yeah.
We
So
need to schedule
it just-
our pep talks. We should do that. We should, once a quarter, we need a pep talk.
Yeah. So I mean, it's conflict there. Anything that I think will make her feel insecure and unsecure, I don't really share with her. And then things that are stressing me out, maybe I need her perspective on what's happening, or I just got to let it loose and talk about the conflict I'm having, whether she can fix it or not. I just need to sulk in it for a second. Then
He's good about protecting me, too, if it involves something that might change opinions about someone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, very much so.
Like if it's something that he knows he can deal with, he can handle, someone may have hurt his feelings or something like that, like just use that as an example. If he knows it might change the way that I view that person because then I get frustrated about said event that didn't even
Same.
include me, he just won't tell me.
Well, she can't. I know her. She can't. She'll hold that against that person,
Same way with my wife. Said the same thing when we did this podcast.
and so she'll mark that person, and for no reason.
Has she marked people? Do you want to call them out on the podcast?
Yeah.
No, I don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Bleep it.
Bleep. Don't do it. Don't do it. Bleep that person out.
They no longer go here anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Christy's such a nice, loving person.
But she do be cutting some people out of her life.
If you mess with me though, you're gonna get something different.
One time, me and Christy.
No, please let's not go to story mode. Don't do it.
One time, I like me and Johnny
No,
have this really
don't
great
do
relationship
this.
Great.
where
We can annoy each other a lot.
we annoy each other on purpose.
On purpose.
It's give and take. We both do it to each other.
You give a lot.
I give a lot,
That's what to say.
If I give it,
Sometimes
sometimes throws you off. Like, dang, he just did that to me.
but it's funny. We still
It's still
laugh.
funny.
It's still good.
So great.
We have a good relationship where we cut up a lot with each other.
It's true.
sometimes you don't know that you're really being serious, and so that's where this story
That's
comes
where-
into
that's where
play.
you gotta be. I mean, I've been here 5 years now. I can kind of figure it out. But
So Johnny is also a jokester in
people are gonna start thinking I'm soft.
No, he's not soft. He's tough. He's
Tough,
tough
You're
jokester.
fired.
But Johnny's a jokester in he likes Johnny is either there's not really a middle with Johnny. He's either uber serious or he's uber jokester.
Yeah, there's no middle.
There's no middle.
Can't find it.
So and I think we have a healthy relationship where I know, okay, this is uber serious Johnny or this is uber jokester Johnny. We were sitting at a dinner table one night in San Antonio. We're in San Antonio?
Yeah, San Antonio.
San Antonio, Texas, and
General Assembly.
we were at General Assembly 2 years ago. So this is 2 years ago.
Yep.
General Assembly a couple years ago, and we were ordering dinner.
Yep.
And I said,
You
I
forgot.
know you hate deviled eggs.
Why do you want something that just makes you fart all the
Deviled
time?
eggs are disgusting.
They're so bad.
I know you hate deviled eggs. And I said, hey, Johnny, they have deviled eggs. Let's order some for you. And you said, I don't like deviled eggs. And I said, Johnny, you like deviled eggs. I know you do. Probably not exactly how the story went. Something to that
I
effect.
was about to say that was my version.
And then Christy jumped in to come to your rescue.
Yeah.
I said he doesn't like deviled eggs, and then it kind of went south
Yeah.
from there.
I think there probably was some pecking that was
Previous.
involved there that Chrissy didn't like.
Previous to that,
So
and the
she was
car
already
there.
amped up, ready to punch somebody in the face. So
Yeah.
because she loves me so much.
Yeah.
Again, if you mess with me,
I
I'll
mess with you a
smile
lot.
and I will love you. But Christy, boy, I'd hate to be on her bad side.
Mm.
I really would. But
Can you imagine how much worse it's going to be when JD3's around?
like if somebody messes with him.
Yikes.
Oh,
But I
she's
feel like
gonna.
Maddie's the same way. Maddie will fight for you and for her kids. No,
Maddie probably jumped in and picked with Johnny and she probably would have actually ordered the deviled eggs.
Yeah.
probably
Maddie
true.
I feel like she just likes to be on both sides of the coin here.
Yeah, she's a pot stirrer.
She is the pot stirrer, will laugh, but then if you like make fun of a kid, she'll like turn real quick and like.
Yeah.
But she
She's
was
like
just
Mama
making fun
Bear.
of Candy.
But she was making fun of the same kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you gotta be careful there.
You'll figure that out when you get kids.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Figure
one of
out
those fine
that-
lines there. You can't say the same thing she just said, obviously.
I love it.
Anyway,
So yeah, me and Christy had a moment about deviled eggs. So
I don't like them.
Don't
Don't ever try to
mention
get
'em.
me to eat them.
Don't ever talk about them.
It's the
Don't
poor
do
man's
it.
escargot.
everywhere we went this year on General Assembly, I kept saying,
And everybody that didn't know the deviled eggs joke,
thought Johnny
the
liked deviled eggs.
joke, they're like, why does Pastor keep talking about deviled eggs? I'm like, we're not talking about it.
Not talking about deviled eggs.
Just, I mean, yeah. So me and Pastor, we can say things. That's another pet peeve of mine. Like, don't
Johnny
introduced the pet peeve of the
peeve's
week.
back. Pet peeve of the week is back. Let's go.
just because I joke like with someone and they're joking with me about something doesn't mean that you can
joke
about that with
I
me.
agree.
Like that doesn't make. If I don't have that relationship with you, you can't do that
Yeah, I agree.
because then I'll get kind of offended there.
Why are you joking? You don't even know what
Yeah, I
deviled
don't even
eggs
know
mean.
you, bro. Like,
Don't come at me with deviled
don't
eggs.
talk about my softball swing like that.
Mm.
Like,
It's a soft spot.
Yeah, I'll hit one back at your pitcher here in a
Oof, don't do that.
second.
Don't do that.
No, I'm saved, sanctified, filled with that
Come
sweet
on.
Holy Ghost.
Sweet Holy Ghost.
I don't hit
Come on.
softballs at people no more.
Come on. General Assembly was amazing, wasn't it? You enjoyed it?
Fantastic.
Can't wait for 2 more years.
Oh my goodness. I love General Assembly.
Me too.
Johnny cried. He teared up.
I didn't think she was going to tell people that.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
We were literally in the car talking about it.
Before it happened, he was that excited about it.
Yeah,
He
I
teared
was on
up.
the road, and I think we had just talked about it, and I was just like smiling, and then all of a sudden, these tear ducts on the corners just started leaking.
You got weak on you. Those tear ducts got weak on you? What are you doing, tear ducts?
I just love General Assembly, all things Church of God, and being a part of something I've worked hard for is,
Love it.
yeah.
I love seeing us take steps in the right direction and the direction we're going. It's amazing. It's really, really exciting, really
The
encouraging.
vision casted by Bishop
Our
Lewis.
overseer, he's our general overseer. He's amazing.
It's going to be fire.
Yeah, agree completely.
Yeah.
Chrissy, let's end here.
Okay.
If you had to feed Johnny Devil, no, I'm just kidding.
Did you bring some?
Chrissy,
Great
let's end
Christmas.
here. What is the hardest part about being a children's pastor?
That wasn't on our questions to prepare for.
It absolutely was.
Is in the fine print.
Okay.
No, it's
The hardest thing,
It's literally the last question.
pastor's wife.
And then what does it say in parentheses?
Phrase different for each wife. So I was like, maybe he's going to ask Johnny about being pastor.
What's it like being Christy's husband?
Yeah, I was confused. Ask Johnny first.
You just tore down the third wall. You know that, right?
What third wall?
Fourth wall.
The fourth wall. You
What's
just
the
tore
fourth
down the
wall?
fourth wall.
What do you mean?
People now know that we have questions and that we're looking at our phone checking questions, not text messages that are coming in.
Cut it out.
Oh, this is
Cut it
scripted like
out.
wrestling
I
now.
was about to say, this is like
It's like wrestling now. We
Everybody
tore down the
knows this
four
is
walls.
fake. Everybody knows y'all got questions.
You should pop them all on the
Come
screen
on,
now.
Christy.
Question number 1. like we're
Oh,
interviewing.
man.
I'm
Fourth
sorry.
wall, you tore it down. What are you
I didn't
drinking
know
there?
the fourth
Icelandic
wall.
water?
It's sparkling and it's really
What do you
not
think?
good. It's spicy.
Spicy.
Yeah,
Okay, never had spicy water. What's the hardest part of being a kid's pastor?
Oh, goodness gracious. For me or just in general?
For you.
For me. Consistency. When the world is just so busy right now. Does that make sense? Everyone's lives are so busy. So you feel like you're trying your best one day a week to instill truth into them when the other 6 days they're out there living. So you hope and pray that what you say on Sunday and what God does in service on Sunday sticks with them. You know what I mean? And that's the hardest part for me is just I fight the am I really making an impact sometimes, like in my own head? Like, is this really, are they getting this? Is this sticking? Like, are they carrying this throughout their week? Are they applying it to their life? Are they, talking about it when they get in the car? Are they getting, is it more than just Sunday? That's what I always think. Is it more than just Sunday? Is it more than just what we do in that 1 hour? Like, are we really truly partnering with families? Like, that's the things that I battle and think about.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something there that we can do to help partner with them better.
Absolutely.
I don't know what that is, but I think there's definitely some critical thinking that probably needs to happen in the church world, not just our church, in the church world, to where we partner better with families through the week and not just
because we're assisting families. We're only with the kids the short amount of time on Sundays, which is great because we make that impact into their lives. But is that consistently done throughout the week? Are the parents picking up what we're doing and carrying it forward? Are they doing their part as well? So that's the thing that I think about most when it comes to children's ministry.
Johnny, what is the hardest part about being Christy's husband?
The big shadow. Hardest part about being
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What is the hardest part about being married to a children's pastor?
Hardest part about being married to a children's pastor.
That 6 a.m.
That's an interesting
text that says,
question.
"Hey, I need you in Kids Point today."
No, I love that stuff. I love being able to help her
Johnny loves coming in to save the day moments.
Yes.
In everybody's life, not just her life. Johnny loves. He wishes that were his job. Let me just go in, save the day.
Almost like a consultant / just let me get it done for you.
Yeah. Personal assistant, like for the entire staff.
Exactly.
I love it. Maybe you just got a new job right there.
Yeah. I mean, right now it feels like it sometimes. So I would love it. I would say the hardest part is seeing your wife hurt over either volunteer situations or situations with kids. And you know that you can't fix the situation. You have to let the situation just play out. Even if it's like a growth thing for her where she's growing and it's a part of a season in her life. Seeing her hurt like that and having to know that I got to stay back here and just be the pat on the back, pray for her, give her a hug, let her take a nap, whatever needs to happen there to kind of just help in the moment. That's probably the most difficult thing because, she's only been doing this for 2 years now. She's a rookie.
What?
She's a rookie.
Rookie, and you getting all these opportunities as a rookie?
I don't know. I think it's because of you. Thank you for that.
Thank
you for that, or
appreciate
I want to punch you for that, one or the other.
Yeah, she's doing incredible, and the things that she's incredible at, she's always been incredible at. But then working in and through some of those things that maybe we've had experiences with, where we know that's just how it is for ministry, and those are things that
you have a blog
ministry. I do not.
Well, you should.
Yeah,
should. A lot of wisdom in that big brain of yours.
I'll work on it.
All right, work on it.
Yep.
Gabe, next week I'm going to ask you what's the hardest part about being a kid with parents on staff. Interested to hear that. So, anyways, love you guys. God bless. Thanks for hanging out with us. Click here to subscribe. Point at it. Click here for the next video. Love you guys. Peace out. Let's go.